This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
So on June 22nd, I did a video about Marjorie Taylor Greene going on the floor of the House and crying and whining about a bunch of comedians, about a puppet. A puppet of a dog, a Doberman or a Rottweiler. I don't know what Triumph is. It's got the coloring. And crying about how they're stalking me and I had to be ferried away by staff because they wouldn't leave me alone. The same lady who's a literal stalker, stalking school shooting victims, stalking her colleagues, AOC, is crying. We'll play, it's a very brief clip. We'll play that, and then we're going to move on to talk about the outcome of that particular case that was brought against Stephen Colbert's producers, who were in the Capitol apparently too late. Here we go.
But let's go a little bit further. There's been more things that have happened. I mean, I feel like it's almost like high school mean girl behavior, but this is supposed to be Congress. Well, we also had a situation on June 16th, just last week. There was a certain film crew that works for Stephen Colbert, had been basically stalking me all day long, going throughout, following us around here. My staff was very helpful in putting me in the car and keeping me away from them. They ended up outside my office. My staff took me somewhere else so I didn't have to go there.
It's all a bit much, wouldn't you say? So anyway, as a result of that, I talked about the case and I said this, because listen, if someone does something wrong, we need to be standing for justice and standing for consequence. And if it's found that they didn't do the thing they were accused of, justice isn't just punishment. Justice is exoneration. Justice doesn't go one way or the other. It's both. It is absolutely fairness. Justice is justice. And so I said this relative to their actions and what I expected to see. The other day, Stephen Colbert's film crew with, the dog puppet, Triumph, the insult comic dog. Hilarious, if you have a dumb sense of humor like me, I think. And they did interviews, and apparently they overstayed their welcome, and they were arrested on the Capitol complex. They were apparently banging on doors, or I don't know the whole story. Not good if they were there after closing time. You're professionals, you know when you should be there. It doesn't just close. It's not like a mall that all of a sudden the doors are closed and you're locked inside. That's not really how it works. So they'll get what's coming to them. Justice will be served, I believe. I said, it's not good if they were doing what was said they did. If they did. And if they did, they'll get what's coming to them. Well, apparently, what's coming to them is being exonerated. I'm going to read from this Political article. It's a triumph for Triumph, the insult comic dog. No charges will be filed against the Late Show crew arrested on Capitol Hill because U.S. attorneys found they didn't have a case. Federal prosecutors said Monday they have declined to bring charges against 9 people associated with CBS Late Show with Stephen Colbert, who were arrested in a building in the U.S. Capitol complex last month. The decision, made by the U.S. Attorney's Office in Washington, comes after prosecutors determined they, quote, cannot move forward, unquote, with the misdemeanor charges against the 9 people arrested June 16th in the Longworth House office building. The incident followed the 3rd public hearing by the House panel investigating the January 6, 2021 Capitol insurrection. Now, I believe that they mentioned the Capitol insurrection because conservatives were acting like Stephen Colbert and the puppet, the comedy puppet, were attempting to insurrect the Capitol or something. They don't make a lot of sense anyway, but that's why I believe that is mentioned. A spokesperson for the U.S. Attorney's Office said it was not probable a conviction could be obtained and sustained given that the 9 arrested had been invited and that their escorts had never asked them to leave the building. Though Capitol Police have refused to provide the names of those who were arrested, a person familiar with the matter provided the Associated Press with a list of 9 people who had been stopped by Capitol Police. They included several producers, along with comedian and writer Robert Smigel, the voice behind Triumph the Insult Comic Dog. Triumph the Insult Comic Dog / stalker of Marjorie Taylor Greene, apparently. And then finally here, Capitol Police officials said Monday they respect the decision made by the U.S. Attorney's Office. Listen, conservatives will do anything they can to distract from the most important issues of our day. And in this case, I believe that the investigation and prosecution of those involved in the insurrection, up to and including Donald Trump, is the most important issue of the day. But when some comedians get caught in the hallway of Congress after having been invited, they believe that is akin to, equal to, on par with. There is parity between. It's an analog of, if you will, the insurrection against the United States government, the attempted overthrow of the government by way of putting Donald Trump back in office through overturning a free and fair election, disenfranchising 81 plus million Americans, including you and me. So apparently, Triumph the Insult Comic Dog doesn't hold the only jokes in the story here. Republicans, indeed, are a bunch of jokes. What do you think? I'd love to know. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. You can also email me, daily@dollemore.com. I say brief because people call, there's a 3-minute Google voicemail limit on those voicemails, and people call and will fill the voicemail. It'll be 3 minutes. They'll call right back and leave another 3 minutes. There are people who will leave me like 6, 7, 8 3-minute voicemails. After one, I'm not going to listen to all of it. I have so many days, hours in the day, and I need to get on to the other voicemails and emails that I'm going to be incorporating into the show. That is going to be something that is happening readily. We're going to start doing regular voicemail shows that maybe we'll post on the weekend. We're getting it all figured out anyway. I love you guys. If you appreciate what I do, I would love for you to support and produce what I do right here on YouTube. You can take part in the mission of this show, which I truly believe is standing up for what is right and protecting American democracy. If you want to be a part of that, you can help support what I do. Click the join button below this video, become a channel member for as little as $1.99 a month, pennies a day, or you can go over to patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. Stay connected with me on social media. I'm at Dollemore on Twitter and TikTok and Instagram at Dollemore. Anyway, I love you guys. I appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time. Until I do, be genuine and take care of one another.